Hello students, today we are going to discuss about the concept of ratio and proportion. Ratio and proportions. First of all, we will discuss about the concept of ratio. So ratio of a number A to another number B. Ratio of a number A to another number B. Ratio of number A to another number B. It is a fraction and it is written as A is to B. This sign is used for ratio symbolization. Now A upon B is equals to A ratio B. So don't get confused about the concept of ratio. A ratio B, this is read as A ratio B, and it is just the fraction A upon B. Alright, now the term A ratio B, in this expression of ratio symbolization, the first term is called the antecedent. The first term is called the antecedent, where the second term B is called the consequent. Alright, generally A ratio B, which is equal to the fraction A upon B, is in its lowest form. The operation which you perform with the rational numbers while calculating their lowest form is repeated here for calculating the lowest form of the ratio A is to B. For example, calculate the lowest form of 45 is to 108. 45 ratio 108, manipulate the lowest form of this ratio. The solution is, while ratio A and B is in its lowest form, we can see that there is only one common factor between A and B, and it is 1. So no common factor other than 1 is there in A ratio B when A ratio B is in its lowest form. That's why for 45 is to 108, which can be written as 45 upon 108 in its fraction equivalent form, we will see that 45 upon 108 in this expression of rational number 45 can be written as product of 9 and 5, whereas 108 108 can be written as product of 9 and 12. So there is a common factor of 9 between the two numbers 45 and 108. So 45 upon 108 reduces to 5 upon 12 in the lowest form, as now we can see that there is only one common factor between the numerator and denominator of this fraction 5 upon 12, which is 1. That's why HCF of 5 and 12 is 1. So now we can claim that 5 upon 12 is the lowest form of fraction 45 upon 108, which is equals to 45 ratio 108. So the lowest form of 45 is to 108 is 5 is to 12, because 5 upon 12 can also be written as 5:12, as I have told you earlier that the ratio is the representation of the fraction. Alright, it is a representation format. Alright, now let us take some important points. The first point is that most generally ratio is expressed in its lowest form, which I have covered in the previous discussion, how to manipulate the lowest form of a ratio. The second point being that in ratio we compare two similar type of quantities. We compare two similar type of quantities. What I mean by similar type, the meaning of similar type quantities is that the meaning of similar type quantities is that both the quantities which are being compared should have same units. Means you cannot compare 400 crows with 500 dogs. Alright, there is no comparison between crows and dogs, but you can compare 20 liter of milk with 40 liter of milk using the concept of ratio. Now if we have to calculate the ratio between 20 liter of milk and 40 liter of milk, we simply use 20 liter upon 40 liter. It is represented as 20:40, and it is mentioned that it is the comparison between amount of milk in liters. This is the second important point in the concept of ratios, that we compare two similar type of quantities. Means the quantities that are being compared should have similar type of units. Similar type of units can be elaborated as 200 kilometers can be compared with 20 meters, because both the units are of measurement, length measurement. So we can compare 200 kilometers with 20 meters by converting both of the comparing units in same single unit. Alright, 200 kilometers is equals to 200 multiplied by 1000 meters, which is equals to 2 lakh meters. Now we can compare 2 lakh meters with 20 meters as 2 lakh upon 20 is equals to 2 lakh is to 20. This representation is fractional representation, and it can also be represented using the format of ratio. Ratio is denoted by the symbol of two dots between the two numbers which are being compared. So I have used the symbol of ratio here between the two numbers which are 2 lakh and 20, and they are in their simplest form can be written as 2 lakh divided by 20, which is equals to, this get cancelled by this whole term with a factor of 10,000. Alright, in the numerator we have left with 1. So 2 lakh ratio 20 in its simplest form is 10,000 ratio 1. Now it is mentioned that these two are the units of measurement in meters. So I think you are all clear with the concept of second point. The second point illustrates that only two similar type of quantities, similar type means they should have same unit, can be compared using the concept of ratio. The third important point in the concept of ratios is the order of the terms. The order of the terms in the ratio expression is very important. What I mean by important, I mean that the ratio 3:2 is not equals to ratio 2:3, because 3:2 is equals to 3 divided by 2 in the fractional form, while 2:3 in the ratio form is equals to 2 divided by 3 in the fractional form, which are not equal. 3 upon 2 is not equals to 2 upon 3. That's why the order of the term means if 3 is written as antecedent and 2 is written as consequent, then we cannot change their order to write 2:3, because 3:2 is not equals to 2:3. This is the third important point. Now let us take an example. Find 225:15 in its lowest form. So 225:15, we can see that 225:15, using the concept of ratio and fraction, 225:15 can be written as 225 divided by 15. Now the numerator, we can see that 225 can be written as 15 multiplied by 15, while the denominator is 15. So this 15 get cancelled with the one of the 15 of the numerator, and what we remains in the last is 225 by 15 equals to 15 is upon 1, which can be written as 15:1. So 225:15 in its lowest form is equals to 15:1. Now we go to the concept of comparison of ratios. Comparison of two ratios or more. Alright, two or more ratios. For this we have to memorize certain steps. The steps being that, let us get these steps cleared using the help of an example. Compare 7:6 and 4:9. Now I am giving you the solution using the steps which illustrates the comparison of ratios. We have to compare 7:6 and 4:9. The first step being that step 1, I am representing it here as S1. Obtain the given ratios. Now our given ratios are 7:6, 4:9. Convert each of them in the simplest fraction form. Now 7:6 can be written as 7 by 6 in the fractional form, and 4:9 can be written as 4 upon 9 in the fractional form. Now you will see that in the ratio 7:6, which can be written as 7 divided by 6 in the fractional form, there is no common factor between 7 and 6 other than 1. Only 1 is the common factor. So this is in its lowest form. 7 upon 6 is a fraction in its lowest or simplest form. Similarly 4 upon 9 is in its simplest form, because there is no common factor between 4 and 9 other than 1. So 4 upon 9 is equals to 4 upon 9 in its simplest form. This is step 1. Step 2 says that find the LCM of the denominators of both the fractions obtained in the step 1. Now in step 1 we have obtained the fractions 7 is to 6, 7 upon 6 and 4 upon 9. Find out the LCM of denominators. So LCM of 6 and 9 is equals to 18. This is step 2. Now going to step 3, which states that obtain the first fraction. The first fraction is 7 is to 7 upon 6. Obtain the first fraction as the denominator of the first fraction is 6 and the numerator of the first fraction is 7. Now we have obtained the LCM of the two denominators in the step 2 as 18. Divide the LCM with the denominator of the first fraction, which gives you a number which is here equals to 3. Multiply the numerator and denominator of the first fraction with the number 3. We obtain 7 upon 6 is equals to 21 upon 18. Similarly, repeat the process with the second number or the second fraction. The second fraction being that 4 upon 9. 4 upon 9. Divide the LCM of the two denominators, which is 18, with the denominator of the second fraction, which is 9. This gives you a number 2. Multiply the numerator and denominator of the second fraction with that number. This gives you 4 upon 9 equals to 8 upon 18. Now compare the two numbers. 7 upon 6 equals to 21 upon 18. Similarly, 4 upon 9 is equals to 8 upon 18. Now these two fractions which I have obtained in the last step are comparable because their denominators are same. Both of the fractions have the denominator 18, while the numerator of first is 21 and the numerator of second is 8. Now you can replace this comma with the inequality by comparing the numerators of the two fractions. The inequality is this: 21 upon 18 is greater than 8 upon 18 because 21 is greater than 8. Compare the step 4 is that compare the numerators of the two numbers obtained of the two fractions, not numbers, they are fractions of the two fractions obtained in step 3. The fraction having greater numerator is larger. Alright. Now we will take another example of comparison between two ratios. Compare the ratio 15 is to 11 and 17 is to 33. Now the step 1 is obtain the two fractions in the simplest form. So the ratio 15 is to 11 can be written as 15 upon 11 in the fractional form, whereas 17 is to 33 can be written as 17 upon 33 in the fractional form. Now check whether they are in lowest form or not. We can check that there is only one common factor between the numerator and denominator of the first fraction 15 upon 11, and that is equals to 1. So HCF of both the numerator and 11 is 1. So 15 is to 11 is 15 upon 11 in its lowest form. Similarly 17 upon 33 in its lowest form is equals to 17 upon 33 because there is no common factor other than 1 between the numerator and denominator. Now step 2 states that obtain the LCM of the two denominators. The denominators are 11 and 33. Their LCM is 33. Now step 3 says that obtain the two fractions as the first fraction is 15 upon 11. Divide the LCM obtained in step 2 with the denominator of the first fraction, which is 11 in this case. We obtain a number which is 3, then multiply the numerator and denominator of the first fraction with that number. This is equals to 45 upon 33. Similarly, the second fraction, which is 17 upon 33, divide the LCM obtained in the second step with the second numerator. We will obtain a number which is equals to 1. Multiply the numerator and denominator of the second fraction with that number. We will obtain 17 upon 33 equals to 17 upon 33. Now 15 upon 11 is equals to 45 upon 33. As now we can see that 17 upon 33 is equals to 17 upon 33. Now these two numbers are comparable because in their fractional form their denominators are same, which is 33 in this case. So step 4 states that the fraction having the larger denominator is greater. That's why 45 is greater than 45 upon 33 is greater than 17 upon 33, because 45 is greater than 17. That's why what we conclude in the last step is 15 is to 11. This ratio is greater than 17 is to 33. Alright. This is all about the concept of comparing two ratios. Now let me introduce you to the concept of proportions. Proportion is simply the equality of two ratios. What I said is it is the equality of two ratios. For example, as we can see that 2:3 is equal to 4:6, because 2:3 can be written as 2 divided by 3 in its fractional form, while 4:6 can be written as 4 divided by 6 in its fractional form. Now 4 divided by 6 is equals to 4, where 4 is equals to 2 multiplied by 2 divided by 3 multiplied by 2. So there is a common factor between the numerator and denominator of the ratio 4:6, which is 2, which get cancelled, and 4:6 is equals to 2 upon 3 in its lowest form in the fractional form, and it can be written as 2:3. So these two ratios 2:3 and 4:6 are equal. Then these ratios are in proportion also. What I said is 2:3 is equals to 4:6. So this equality sign is replaced with a sign of 4 dots. It's just a method of representation. This sign is called the proportionality. It means that these two ratios are proportional, or it is equivalent to saying that these two ratios are equal. Means if two ratios are equal, then they are proportional, and the sign of equality between the two ratios is replaced with the sign of proportionality, which is 4 dots. As in the case of ratio, we use 2 dots between the two numbers which we are comparing. In the case of proportionality, we use 4 dots between the two ratios. Here the first ratio, here the second ratio. If they are equal, then they are proportional also. This is the concept of proportionality, and the sign of equality between the two equal ratios is replaced with the sign of proportionality, which is 4 dots. Alright. then two equal ratios are proportional also, and vice versa. What is meant by vice versa? It means that the converse statement is also true. What is the main statement? The main statement is that if two ratios are equal, then they are proportional. So the converse statement is that if two ratios are proportional, then they are equal. For example, we can see that 40:70 is equals to 200:350, because 40:70 can be written as 40 divided by 70 in the fractional form, and 200:350 can be written as 200 divided by 350 in the fractional form. Now 40/70 can be reduced as 4/7, because there is a common factor other than 1 between 40 and 70, which is 10, and I have reduced that factor and cancelled it from both the numerator and denominator. Similarly, in the case of 200/350, there is a common factor of 10. Cancelling that factor, it reduces to 20/35. There is also one more common factor of 5 between the numerator and denominator of 20/35. Cancelling that factor, I will get 20 as 4 multiplied by 5. So 4 in the numerator and 5 multiplied by 7. So 7 in the numerator. So 20/35 in its lowest form is equals to 4 divided by 7. So 40:70, this ratio is equals to 4:7. And similarly 200:350, this ratio is equals to 4:7. So these two ratios are equal. That's why we can replace the equality sign by the sign of proportionality. So I can write 40:70 is proportional to 200:350. Now going to some important concept of proportionality. The first being that if the numbers a, b, c, d are in proportion, a, b, c, d are in proportion, then we can write a ratio b is equals to c ratio d, or a ratio b is proportional to c ratio d. This is the first concept. If you have encountered with a statement which states that a, b, c and d are four numbers and they are in proportion, then you will conclude that a ratio b is proportional to c ratio d, which means that a ratio b is equals to c ratio d. The second concept is that if four numbers a, b, c, d are in proportion, then we terminate the numbers a and d as extreme terms and b and c as middle terms. The second concept is mere a definition in the sense, if a, b, c and d are in proportion, then these two terms a and d are extreme terms. It's only a definition. In very precise words, the second concept is mere a definition. It's not a concept or a logic. It's a terminology. The two remaining terms b and c are called the middle terms, while the extreme terms are a and d. Now the third concept being that a, b, c and d are in proportion, then we can write a is to b is proportional to c is to d. A ratio b in its fractional form can be written as A divided by B, which is proportional to C ratio D, and C ratio D can be written as C divided by D in its fractional form. Now this sign of proportionality can be replaced by the sign of equality according to the definition of proportionality. So I can replace this sign of proportionality with the sign of equality. By using the concept of cross multiplication, I can state that this term is multiplied with A and this term is multiplied with C, and maintaining the sign of equality, I can conclude that A multiplied by D is equals to C multiplied by B. Now you can see that A and D are A multiplied by D equals to B multiplied by C if A, B, C and D are in proportion. Now you can see that these two terms are the extreme terms, while these two terms are the middle terms. So we can conclude the concept that if A, B, C and D are in proportion, then the product of the middle terms, which is B multiplied by C, equals to the product of the extreme terms, which is A multiplied by D. This is very important conclusion. In language statement, it can be written as product of middle terms is equals to product of extreme terms. Alright, let us see some examples based on the latest concept we have learned. What we have learned is if A, B, C, D are in proportion, then the product of extreme terms is equals to the product of middle terms. For example, if 2, 3, 4 and X are in proportion, then find the value of X. The solution is this. For solving this question, we have to use the concept which we have latest learned. The concept states that the product of the extreme terms means 2 multiplied by X equals to 3 multiplied by 4. This is the product of the middle terms, and 2 multiplied by X is the product of extreme terms. From here I can calculate the value of X, which is equals to 3 multiplied by 4 divided by 2. By cancelling the common factor of 4 and 2, I am remained by 3 multiplied by 2. This is equals to 6. So X is equals to 6. So 2, 3, 4 and 6 are in proportion. We can verify the result because 2 ratio 3 must be equals to 3 ratio 4 ratio 6, because I have get the value of X as 6. Now you can check that 2 ratio 3 is equals to 2 upon 3 and 4 ratio 6 equals to 4 divided by 6. There is no common factor other than 1 in the first fraction, while in the second fraction I can write 4 upon 6 as 2 multiplied by 2, and in the numerator, and in the denominator I can write 3 multiplied by 2. Cancelling the common factor other than 1, I have remained with 2 upon 3. Now you can see that 2 ratio 3 is the ratio form for the expression 2 ratio 3 in the lowest form, while for the ratio 4 is to 6 in the lowest form I will get 2 ratio 3, and these two ratios are equal. That's why the conclusion is that the last concept which we have learned for the proportionality is verified, and you can use it to calculate any number X if given that A, B, C and X, where X can take any value among these 4 numbers are in the proportion.